podcast where three bearded film fans watch the best and the worst movies of all time. My name is Luke Condor with Kate, back again, and joined by my regular co-hosts, Mr.
Ben Errington.
And Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello, everybody, and hello, Luke. Welcome back from your sick bed.
Back
Thank
once
you very
again.
much.
It's the Renegade Master.
You don't know that I'm not still in my sick bed.
It's true. You've got a background on of little burned up Chucky there.
Burned up Chucky holding a toy knife, it looks like.
He looks ever so burnt. It looks like a lovely burnt marshmallow. It looks quite delicious, I guess.
Oh, he's all chewy on the inside, except horrid plastic, not nice marshmallow, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like cheese on toast when it's been like super burnt, you know? That's really disappointing. That
Molten cheese underneath there.
That's the piece that's been left in like 2 seconds too long. Just check that. It was fine.
God. It's the same as like if you like Brave putting the toast down again. It's like, this toast's not quite ready. It's a little bit floppy. Put it down. But it's all right. Just another couple of seconds. Incinerated instantly.
Nothing there. Just ash.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tumbling out. Yeah.
My last two pieces of bread as well.
It pops back up and just disappears like Infinity War. Just like.
What's worse, burnt toast, or like you're halfway through a sandwich and you're like, oh, there's a bit of mold on that bit of bread, and you've already eaten most of it.
Commit to it, innit? You got to commit.
Burnt toast, yeah. I think a bit of mold, I might just rip that little bit off and then just not think about how much of the mold I've already eaten.
You guys are insane. Like the mold. Think about all them spores getting in you. There must be like other bits of mold hiding in the air gaps.
Makes you
Where
stronger, mate.
it's penicillin, isn't it? So that's like any antibacterial properties.
No,
Lovely.
Hovis.
It's good for your gut.
Maybe, yeah. But burnt toast, I hear, is like a carcinogenic.
Yeah. But burnt toast. I'm not sure. I'm not being the Daily Mail about this, but yeah, burnt toast. That'll give you all the cancer. Don't want
Oh, God, crippling death cancer.
that.
How have you guys been? Everyone been okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have
Right,
you been?
you know.
That's the most important thing. We were worried you got slimed last week.
Something got slimed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is that
Everything around, yeah. Everything around me got a bit slimed. What was the name of the new one? The kind of grandma slimer?
Muncher.
Muncher.
Grandma Slimer. Yeah, the one who shot like bullets from his mouth.
Yeah, I thought it was a hurt. It looked to me like an old grandma.
Apparently, it's voiced by Josh Gad, who also voices the.
I can get that. I can see that.
A snowman? What's the snowman
Yeah.
called?
He's
Olaf.
Olaf. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Gad's got an interesting singing voice. If you listen to the Book of Mormon soundtrack,
Yeah.
he's like got a really kind of strange, operatic kind of voice at times. It's good.
Can you recreate it in any way?
No.
Nah.
Hang on a minute. Is that Josh Gad? The Book of Mormon said, "Oh, it's you, Luke." Disappointed.
Is there any horror news on the horizon?
Any horror news? There's a couple of bits. One bit that is topical, very topical for today's episode, which is Chucky, the TV show, has been renewed for a second season ahead of this week's Series 1 finale. Don't know if you guys have seen this at all, but it's
They've done that because of this episode. They're like, we need to time that. We need to get on this while it's hot.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But I don't think it was only last week that we decided to say, that's true, actually. They listened to our episode when we decided that we're going to do Child's Play. And then they went, you know what? Renew.
It's in vogue, guys. Renew it.
Renew it. We're going to get a hell of a lot of...
It's part of the presentation. So the producers went to the bigwigs and were saying, as you'll see, we're being talked about on podcasts that, crack the top 200 in
Norway.
In that category sometimes. We're there. Yeah, Norway.
Yeah. And they were like, hang on a minute, this episode hasn't got Luke Condor on it. He's the anchor point
with
of the
with
whole...
only two hosts. They're still bringing up Child's Play. Imagine if all three of them are talking about it next week. Renew that series right away.
Last week was like going to watch NSYNC, but Justin Timberlake won there.
No, yeah, I don't know the other members. Who's in NSYNC? Who's the guy with like the he's got shaved bits in his head?
I know their faces. That's literally it. That's all I do. Their faces, I know. Justin Timberlake.
And the rest.
Steak bake. One of them's called sausage, bean, and cheese. Might be getting mixed up with the flavors of Greg's pasties.
Yeah.
Flavors,
Corned beef hash.
Oh God, do corned beef pasties still exist? Feels like something from.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The best kind.
They are the
Days
best
gone
kind,
by.
but they're not as popular because they're not as flashy as like a saucy bee and cheese or a steak and bake.
Saucy bee and cheese, please tell me you asked for it in that way.
Saucy
Hey
bee.
guys, can I just get a saucy bee and cheese? Can I get a saucy bee and cheese and a Diet Coke? Yes.
And
Okay. See you
And then you
later.
realise the guy serving you is the guy from NSYNC. Are you talking about me? Saucy bee.
It's gotta be beans and cheese.
And sausage.
Terrible. And sausage, yeah, it just doesn't work. You got to keep adding every single ingredient to it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, so it's Don Mancini who directs this. Mancini.
Yeah.
Are we saying Mancini? Because that's how a football manager's surname is pronounced, and it's spelled the
Mancini.
same. Mancini. So it's his TV show, I think. But he's written all of the Child's Play movies and directed like maybe the last 3 or 4.
Yeah,
So
he's clutched on tight to it, hasn't he?
Bloody loves it, doesn't he?
Mhm.
He's the opposite of like good old John Carpenter who did the first Halloween, then like, see you later.
So his voice, Chucky's voiced by Brad Dourif in that.
Mhm.
Ruining him. Jennifer Tilly's in it. Devon Sawa's in it as well. So yeah.
What, are we talking about the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I need to watch the TV show. I'll be honest, after watching the film again today for the first time in years, I was like, I really like Chucky.
Yeah.
I really want to watch the rest.
I'm gonna go through the rest. And hot take early doors. Don't dislike the new one either.
I like
Yeah.
it.
New ones are right. Yeah. I didn't think I'd seen Child's Play. I was like, have I seen this before? I don't think so. And then suddenly, in a certain scene, a voodoo doll scene, I was like, oh my God, I remember this. Because it freaked me out, where like the concept of it was like, what? What's happening here? Could that happen? Oh God!
It's just about a stabby little doll, and now.
Oh no, I'm terrified. Yeah, so that's happening. That's good. I would like to check it out, the TV show. I've sort of spoke about it occasionally that I'd like to check it out.
What is it on over here?
Good question. I don't know. I think that's why I've not seen it. So I think it's on Peacock now, on whatever that is.
So Peacock is NBC in the US. I don't know what that equates to over here. This is the problem. You want to get renewed for Series 3, guys?
Yeah.
Sort out your marketing internationally.
You want to get it over here on Channel 4, mate?
I should just know.
Channel 4.
Should just be able to spit that out. Yeah, E4 is still a thing. That's got something else I've been watching this week on. It's not horror related, but it's definitely our demographic related. So I'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, interesting. A little teaser there, Mr. Andy Conduit Turner. Some other news. Don't know how you feel about this. Halloween Kills is going to have an extended cut with even more thrills and more kills, in addition to an alternate ending, probably where that bloke who they thought was Michael Myers ends up, I don't know what happened. What did he do? Oh, he jumped out the hospital window, didn't he? He stands up and says, "It was me all along. Local Myers has been a puppet of mine." Even more thrills and even more kills. I mean, were there many thrills? Oh,
there were lots of kills.
There are bloody loads of kills. Is that going to be
there
more?
There were lots of kills. Thrills. I mean,
so.
In the moment, I guess there were thrills. If you were there, you'd be thrilled. You'd be spooked the bejesus out of. But I'm still massively offended by how much of my time the movie wasted by being entirely circular and doing nothing to advance things before Halloween ends.
Yeah, a bit frustrating. Do I want a little bit extra of it? Do I want an alternate ending? I mean, what do alternate endings do, really? If they're not really thought of as canon, essentially, are they?
Yeah, the alternate ending could be anything. It could be a Silent Hill where there's a dog pulling the levers. It's just a fun one. Michael Myers goes into that frog dance where he's like, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my Roxanne." Yeah, I mean, that'd be his first words at last.
Michael Myers takes off his mask and just goes, "I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough of this shit. I'm too old for this shit.
I finally killed the number of people that I was going to kill. Goodbye forever." Or either that or Loomis comes back.
Is that like the end of Poochie? in The Simpsons.
Yeah, I must go. My planet needs me. Loomis comes back and he's got like the Infinity Gauntlet on. He's finally got like all those Magnum bullets didn't kill you. Maybe this will.
Fine.
He just dusts him.
I'll do it myself. Dusted. There we go. Or you know what? Michael Myers has pretty much got. He's got the platinum trophy now. He's killed everyone he has to do. He's got all the achievements. Achievement unlocked. See you later. Goodbye. Put the game back on the shelf. You don't need to kill anyone anymore.
Yeah. Just goes back to his prison cell, sits back down.
Classic. The only other piece of news I saw, which wasn't like talking about new releases that we're going to be discussing in December. The only other piece of news I saw is that one of the stories from Stephen King's collection, If It Bleeds, titled Mr. Harrigan's Phone, is currently in the works to be developed to be a movie on Netflix. Sorry, butchered. Just reading an easy sentence there. Being developed by American Horror Story creator Ryan Murphy and Blumhouse, because Blumhouse bloody love it. And they've cast a couple of people, including Donald Sutherland.
Oh, very nice.
Old Don stuff. Yeah.
Enjoy a Stephen King adaptation still to this day. I mean, I'm less excited that it's not the Flan Man doing it, maybe. But
yeah, I'm less excited about it being Ryan Murphy doing it.
Yeah. The Flan Man. So apparently it's from it, If It Bleeds, a young boy named Craig, living in a small town who befriends an older, reclusive billionaire, Mr. Harrigan. The two form a bond over books and an iPhone. It says it. Andy Conduit Turner's broken iPhone. They bond over it. Yeah. Look at the state of this.
Either that, or like the old man's got loads of books, and then the little boy goes, "Get them on this app on your Kindle now." And he goes, "Oh, really? Yeah."
I think that might be exactly what happens.
Yeah, the phone seems to be key to it. So the man passes away, and the boy discovers that not everything dead is gone. Pet Cemetery. And finds himself able to communicate with his friend from the grave through the iPhone that was buried with him.
Does it actually say iPhone? Is it branded?
It says iPhone. Well, in this little description on a website, that's all it says.
I wonder though, spoilers for a couple of things. Isn't it true that Apple's marketing department won't let any baddies in films use iPhones, which is a giveaway of the mystery in one particular film? I don't want to spoil it here because it's not what we're talking about, but so technically anyone who has that phone can't be the baddie.
Interesting.
Very
interesting.
Don't know that. Yeah. Steve Jobs, he's not bad, is he?
No.
There's a bit more news here. So I don't know if you remember earlier this year there was a character called Gabriel. He is from a certain film called Malignant. He's getting a sequel, apparently.
Is he?
Well, potentially.
Interesting.
I don't know how you feel about a
Back Street's back. Well, back walking street back is tonight. That's what you'll say.
Yeah.
Oh, and because he moves quite jerkily. He could do that dance really well from Back Street's back.
Yeah.
We are dropping the boy band names into this podcast, aren't we?
Yeah. Take that.
Take that and party. All right. So that'd be interesting. I suppose more people will go and see that because if they saw the first one, they know the twist. So if you go to the second one, you know what you're getting for.
One of the only things keeping me engaged in that film was like, I wonder what the twist is. Like, if I already know that it's Gabriel.
Okay, good point.
I don't know. This one could basically come out though and go a completely different direction. It could basically be the Raid. It's just Gabriel walking backwards, lozzing chairs at people, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah,
let's do it. That's pretty much.
How will he get out of that mind prison? We'll find out.
Just like Sherlock, mate.
My only thing I'm saying is that what I don't want it to be is, I take a horror sequel. I don't need a prequel.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want no prequel where he's just a little tiny backwards boy in the brain. Don't want that. How he first got his electric powers.
But imagine a serial killer in little panda bear slippers.
Yeah, but he won't be able to go anywhere because he's still stuck to like a full-size person, right? Wait.
Yeah, he wasn't in the brain
Oh,
at first,
we're
was he?
spoiling it now. What if
Oh,
someone
okay.
listens to
Yeah.
this and they go, hang on a minute, what's this
Yeah.
film? The film Malignant is just a scary film with no mad twist.
Just a ridiculously
Why don't you go and watch it? Ridiculously silly.
It's
mad
not a
shit.
scary film. I don't think it's a scary film. It's just a
No.
ridiculously silly film. But it's pretty. When it comes out to thinking of all the good experiences I had at the cinema, I think Malignant is going to be up there.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that when it ended, a man turned around. I'd never spoken to him before, didn't know who he was. He looked at me and said, "Well, that was shit." As if I was like, I mean, I am.
Well, you probably had your podcasting uniform on, right? So it was like, you'll want to know this.
You went, there he is.
Podcast uniform. That's what we
nodded.
need.
Don't you guys go in your podcast apparel with like your notebook, and then you say to the cinema person, "Oh, I shall enjoy my film. I'm writing about it for my podcast, hence the notebook."
I've got the little
I've got the
little press ticket.
The film. So
I've got the little microphone, like podcast from Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah.
And I insist people call me podcast while I'm watching it. All right, call me podcast.
Oh, of course, sorry, Luke. You missed out all the chat about good old podcast. Our new patron saint of podcasting.
Luke seems jealous of him.
A podcast. I like podcasts. He was one of the better characters. Now, well, then again, Paul Rudd was in the film, so he's kind of automatically takes the top spot of any film.
I mean, it's incredible that Paul Rudd's in a film and he had the second best hair in the movie, because that podcast kid had phenomenal.
He had very similar hair to the ghost of Harold Ramis.
Yeah,
and
he's inherited all this power.
And goes it. Everyone's got the same hair in that film.
And goes it.
Get over it. So that is pretty much that for horror news. Unless anyone else has got anything, or are we talking about what we've been watching?
What have you been watching?
What have you been watching? What have you been watching? That's what I want to know.
Well, I'll tell you what. I watched one film that I probably won't talk about too much because we are going to be doing an episode on it. It's called Titani.
No one says the name of the film out loud in the film by the sound of it.
Is this some kind of Titani?
I'm in a Titani situation here, guys.
Is it ever?
So there's this game called League of Legends. I don't play it. I don't think anyone plays it. I think it's actually one of the biggest games. One of the online ones. MOBA.
One of the most games.
One of the most games on the planet. And throughout the years, they've made like music videos and short films. This company, Riot Games, and they use an animation studio called Fortiche. They're like a French animated studio. Fortiche's animations are getting so good. They were like, we're going to make a TV show out of it. It's called Arcane. It's all hit Netflix in one big go.
I've heard it's meant to be great.
IGN gave it a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It's getting rave reviews across the board. I've seen the first 5-6 episodes just here and there. It's fantastic. It's like the animation style. It's like the best animation since Spider-Verse. It's not as good because Spider-Verse is like insanely good, but like it's really well done. It's super creative. Every like frame is like a watercolor painting come to life, and the storytelling is. I thought it was going to be kind of a kids kind of thing, but it's quite dark. Like it's quite dark. It's okay. So it's kind of like steampunk. Anything current or modern, they've kind of thrown it into a blender. It's steampunk, Pokemon, fighting. There's lesbians in it with colored hair. There's massive dragons, what they're called, singing the theme tune. There's slow motion shots with people vaping and Billie Eilish style songs singing in the background. It's anything like modern and like even feels a little bit like makes me feel like I'm a little bit too old. Like what's happening here? But it's very, very
all doing TikToks all the time.
Exactly. It feels like a big TikTok show. But yeah, it's great.
I've heard it's really good. I shall add that to my list. Get it watched.
Well. But you don't need to have any familiarity with it.
I think so. No. I tell you what, I preferred Primal. Remember that animated show?
Yeah.
I preferred Primal because that. Did you guys watch it?
I've seen some of it, not all of it.
So Primal was like, it hit me in a big way. Arcane feels a little bit more like a YA sort of story, I guess, and less my
Set in
genre.
Newcastle.
Set in Newcastle. YA man story.
Grove.
Yeah, Anton Decker in it. Really, really good. I'd recommend it.
Oh yeah, sounds great. I've heard it's excellent. I shall add it to the ever-growing list. And we're entering that period now where it's big rewatch season, right? More so even than Halloween, because there's lots of Christmas movies to watch as of tomorrow, when it truly begins.
You can only start to watch it tomorrow. Yeah. Anything else, Luke? Seen anything else with your eyes?
I don't know. Playing lots of Rocket League.
Oh, yeah.
I've been playing a game called Death's Door as well, which is kind of like a Zelda-y Studio Ghibli kind of game. Like you play like a Reaper Crow sort of thing, and you're going around taking souls. It's quite good.
Nice.
So lots of that. It's quite relaxing, but yeah, not a huge. I've been reading tons as well, but that's it. What about you guys?
Horizontal.
Yeah, exactly.
What have I seen this? I've seen a few things. I also saw Titane, which obviously we'll be discussing on a future episode. So I think at this point we've confirmed the episode lineup for December. Next week we're going to be covering Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Some reviews have come out for that. Mixed. I've been listening to what big fans of the franchise have been saying. So mixed, but always going to keep my mind open for that.
It's nice to go out to the cinema, isn't it? You'll have a lovely time.
It's nice to get out, isn't it? Nice to get out and about. Especially with like new variants of the disease coming out every 10 minutes. What's it called? Optimus Prime variant. Oh, that's a terrible joke.
This is it's the G virus now.
It's a bloody G virus now. Oh, so there's a new variant of this disease, is there? I'd love to watch a movie which is about how a town is ravaged by a terrible disease. Started off as a T virus, now it's a G virus. Doesn't stand for great virus.
Yeah. Hopefully you won't get turned into a big old liquor while you're at the cinema.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
I've not checked the symptoms of Omicron, but I'll watch out for it then.
Long, horrible tongue, exposed brain, fangs.
I'm halfway there.
Walk on all fours. To be fair, if that was it, I'd just go.
I'm all the way there.
Just let me have it. Just let me bloody have it.
I love walking on all fours. Do you still climb up the stairs on all fours?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so much faster.
You do Spider-Man pose at the top.
I don't think I ever Spider-Man pose at the top. I don't think I ever walk slowly up or down stairs. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm flying up those stairs. I'm flying down them, no matter what the time of day is.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's the best way.
I think I still count the stairs on my way up.
That's
interesting,
weird.
Isn't it? That is
I
weird.
web swing all the way up.
Oh, all the way up. Okay.
Yeah.
What about down?
No.
Just jump.
Absolutely not.
Just ragdoll all the way down the stairs.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the faculty as well. Then we're going to do Titani, and we are going to do a quiz at the end of the year. We're sort of sorting out who our opponents are going to be. Really, me and Luke aren't the champions, but we're going to do that thing where we just go, wow, it's our podcast, so we do what we want. So Andy's going to be writing the questions again.
Yeah, I'm already hard at work with some fiendish new rounds to delight and upset our new guests and your like. So yeah, I guess if you're listening and anyone has any particular things that they're keen to do, if the listeners on the socials want to join in with anything, I might try and do something people can interact with a bit. We've got all month to work it out and bang our heads against the technology, so we'll do something fancy to close out the year.
Yeah. Can you believe it's been a year since the last quiz episode?
No. Doesn't feel like
it's been a year.
Crazy.
Since last year, I can't believe it's been a year.
I can't believe it's been a year. Can you believe it's been a year? I can't believe it's been a year. On top of that, I watched a couple of other movies. big releases. So I saw King Richard,
right.
the sports biopic,
With Fresh
all about
Prince.
Serena and Venus Williams, with Will Smith as their dad, Richard. Yeah, really good. Like I enjoy tennis to a degree, but it's a good sort of sports bar. I liked it because it's a biopic that didn't like hinge on tragedy. You know, a lot of the time you watch these biopics, like what's gonna bloody happen? What's gonna happen? Do I want to see someone die or an animal die or something terrible happen? But it doesn't hinge on tragedy, which is good. But you know, Will Smith's performance is good. He's like a very flawed character, a flawed and obsessive person, but not in like an abusive way, which is like kind of nice, right?
Are we talking about Will Smith or the character?
Yeah. What about the character he plays?
Who knows about Will Smith? Who knows? Not in his house.
I do love Will Smith as a guy. He seems great.
It's good. It's sort of like heartwarming, and also it doesn't like play out as like again in sports biopics you usually got like a big huge finale where like something really massive is happening, but it wasn't kind of like that. It was just Venus's first tennis match, so there wasn't like
where do you say like when you start to watch a film and you're like, oh, wait for the bad thing to happen, wait for the tragedy? That really put me off Disney films for a while. So like I'm always like, it's nice at first, but there's always a part of me thinking, oh god, who's gonna die?
Better wait for his mom to die, for her to lose her voice to the sea witch, or
there was some horrible thing.
I also saw Spencer, so another biopic about Princess Diana. It's hard to call this a biopic though, because it kind of takes place over a few days rather than Princess Diana's entire life. And it's kind of weird. It's got like a bit of a odd paranoia / there's definitely some like weird horror vibes going on at times, because there's Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead does the score, and it's sort of like this weird, like in places weird acid jazz where you're just like, oh god, what the hell's going to happen?
Princess Diana or acid jazz.
But there's some kind of like sort of dream sequences as well, and sort of like visions and stuff. So it's not like a straight up sort of like character sort of story. There's loads of mad shit happening. But
I wonder where they've got the source for that though. How do they know what a dream was about to make a film?
How do they bloody know that?
Just when you think you've scraped the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Princess Diana material, let's make a film about a dream she might have had.
She wrote one down. She went, I had a dream last night. It was mad. There was a skunk. What was that skunk Pokemon called?
Stunky.
But Kristen Stewart is like fast becoming one of my favorites.
She's
great. Mainly because of this and Underwater, to be fair. But yeah, she really is. She really is great. So there we go.
Would you recommend Spencer to someone who is almost painfully uninterested in the royal family, Ben, or whatever? Would I?
I would.
Would you recommend it to us? Is what
I would consider myself painfully uninterested in the royal family. So yes, I kind of just watched it because I like Kristen Stewart. I heard her performance was good, and I heard it was a little bit different to like standard royal biopics, you know, where it tries to
again that dream she had where she caught a stunky. So how the end?
the fact it takes place over a couple of days rather than being like, oh, here's someone's whole life, which I find is a bit off-putting with biopics sometimes. She's like, I feel the same with autobiographies. Like the first, most of the time, childhoods, no matter what happens in them, I'm a bit like, all right, get to the bit where you're famous. Get to the bit where you're famous. That's
get to the bit where you defeated Megalon, Princess Diana.
Come on.
That time that you beat King Kong in that fight, and then you teamed up to beat Mechagodzilla.
That time when you kicked a corgi in the head when the Queen was looking.
Kong versus Diana, Princess Diana.
Yeah. That time when you reached Super Saiyan level 2 and defeated Cell to win the Cell games, and your dad came back as a ghost at the end. Tell us that bit, Diana.
If you like, have you seen Jackie, the film about Jackie Kennedy?
No.
Okay, I was about to try and convince you to watch it then, because it's directed by Pablo Larraín, so the same person. That was a similar sort of vibe. Do you know what? It's been one of those weeks where I've been watching stuff about things I'm kind of uninterested in. I also started watching the Beatles documentary thing on Disney Plus.
The Peter Jackson thing.
Yeah. So again, I've never been into the Beatles. Their music pretty much doesn't stir my soul. I've always been a bit like, I kind of like, well, I mean, who really cares? Of all of them, I'm a bit like, aren't they all just assholes? George Harrison's all right. Aren't they all just assholes? But I've been watching it and pretty much enjoying it. Like, I think it's really long. Like, I've just watched part 1, which is like 3 hours long.
Is it making you more of a fan of the music?
Blooming hell, Zack Snyder do it.
It's Peter Jackson.
Snyder.
So
oh, there you go. Yeah, the only person more potent in length films than.
I think it's making me realize, rather than like enjoy the music more, it's making me realize, oh yeah, of course, that's their song as well. Oh, and that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that. Jesus Christ. Like, I think it's interesting from like a songwriting perspective, because it just, you get such an insight into that. But I think if you're not like a huge fan of the Beatles, you could consider it to be a bit boring, I guess.
I'm quite a big Beatles fan, so I think I'm.
There we go. So the only thing keeping me interested at the moment is kind of like just watching, because I absolutely love a music documentary of any kind. Like, there are bands that I actively dislike. If a music documentary came out about them, I would watch it just to see what the hell makes them tick.
Just to wait for the sad bit to come on and be like,
to wait for the sad bit, was it? I'm really disappointed that happened. he lost his voice, and there's no honey and lemon. It's interesting, but also, like, all of the little things you think you know about the Beatles, like, oh, Yoko Ono, she was always there, wasn't she? She really was. She really bloody was. Literally, doesn't leave John Lennon's side. It's like, give him a day off. So yeah. I recommend that. Yeah, if you're into it, check it out. Not horror related, unless you're terrified of the Beatles for some reason.
He did.
They're creepy crawlies, aren't they?
Yeah. They're all over me with their songs. Yeah.
Pete Jackson did a similar thing to like the World War One footage.
Oh yeah. I've seen that.
Which is really good, really interesting.
Yeah, it's got like so it's kind of like it's color, and it's almost like they've upped the quality of it. What would you say?
Yeah, they've like used AI or something.
Used AI
they've coloured them in, so that submarine was yellow.
Used AI to make it bloody HD or something, innit? Yeah. And make it HD. So yeah, you can see everything. If you wanted to see like Ringo Starr's eyelids in HD,
I do.
This is for you. This is for you.
Because I'm more familiar with his voice because of the age we are. In my head, Ringo Starr looks like Thomas the Tank Engine. I probably couldn't tell you what he looks like in real life.
No.
He's just got a little Thomas the Tank Engine round face.
He's not a face on the super glued to a train. He's not.
They're like 4 little vultures on a tree, like in Jungle Book.
Yeah, that's them. That's the Beatles.
Why are the Beatles in?
It was meant to be them, I think.
It's not really them, is it?
It was literally meant to be them, but they couldn't do it. They're busy that day.
It's just someone did an impression of them. Beatles.
Okay, fair enough. Anything else?
No. Andy?
Not much. I've been on a big binge of films that I told you all about then last week, but this week, a little busy, not so much time to do it, but I mentioned our demographic adjacent, but in the scary thing, the passage of time, turning that back, Games Master's back on E4, so I watched that this week.
Of course.
The guy who presents it is like I feel like it is you, Ben. He's got like he's a Scottish guy, and I feel like he's borrowed like loads of your clothes and stuff.
Oh.
And so Trevor McDonald is Games Master now. It's a really good fit. I think he does it very well. Yeah,
I did see you.
It was a lot of fun.
In the Discord, you mentioned that you think I should present it. I think Luke, you seconded that, and I just like to say thank you, unless you're being sarcastic.
No, I really don't, Ben. I think you would be a good enthusiastic presenter of Games Master. And it was good. It was literally, the format is exactly the same. In putting it on, I was worried that it would be, pitched very differently. There's no Dominic Diamond, who I think had a very distinct way of doing things on the program when we were kids watching it. And now, I think they fully embraced that the audience for it is not necessarily 10-year-old, 8-year-old kids anymore. Now it is 40-year-old men. And they embrace that, and they joke about it at the beginning, but then the challenges are the same where they used to be. They have the little cutaways, and it doesn't do what everything beyond Games Master used to do, which was hey guys, cool, pow, radical. It's a video gaming program for the gamers and which was always terrible in any attempt they had at a video game style like TV show since Games Master, and possibly Bad Influence. They just have a lovely time, and it was a good watch. And Trevor McDonald makes a good big hologram head.
It's not just a one-off then. It's like we've got a full series.
Yeah, it's a new series. I think it's dropping one episode at a time, but the first one was a lot of fun.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out because I've been meaning to since.
Are you going to watch it and think to that guy when Rab's on there, you're going to be like, going to have your job, Rab. I'm going to come on there and challenge you.
I recognise this guy, Rab Florence. Yeah, I'll challenge him. He's he's older than me. He's 44, so I'll be got 10 years on you, mate. You know, so you might as well step down while you still can. All right, come on.
Yeah, get yourself on there, Ben. But yeah, that's it. Just the film of the week. Child's Play.
Child's Play.
Child's Play.
Is it Child's Play as in a play belonging to a child, or is it just some child's play? Some children's play?
Children's play.
Yeah, just
who
some
knows?
Child's playing. Who knows?
It's a core question.
Weird that we've not done this before.
I know. I was so surprised when you brought it up. Like, geez,
of
all the Child's Play yet.
Of all the big movies, movies from our sort of times when we grew up as well. Surprising we didn't get around to it, but
Child's Play was one of these that was like cancelled for a while, right? It was banned for a period of time
because of that young boy. The name
the James Bulger murder, right? Yeah. So I think there are a few Child's Plays out at the time, but like. When we're, as much as we fuck about normally, I don't want to get my facts wrong when we're talking about serious stuff, but like, I'm pretty sure it was linked to, I think a copy of one or two of the sequels was found at one of the boys' homes following the murder. And it was very much caught up in, I'm not sure there was ever anything that indicated they'd necessarily been watching that exact film or there was anything like that, but it was tied into it quite severely, and I think it became banned off the back of that murder.
It looks like there was possibly another murder where somebody said to a person, "I'm Chucky, wanna play," before then committing said murder. So
Jesus,
that was also connected. I think maybe 1992 and 1993 respectively. So that's obviously the controversy attached. But yeah, I didn't know about that at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sad.
So Child's Play is a 1988 American horror film directed and co-written by Tom Holland. The first film in the Child's Play series and the first installment to feature the character Chucky. A single mother gives her son a much sought-after dolly for his birthday. Grow up, mate. Only to discover that it is possessed by the soul of a serial killer. Hate it when that happens. Can you get a refund from Toys R Us? Probably not.
So happens when you buy secondhand, from a peddler.
Yeah, from a bloody dirty, horrible peddler, and we can call him that because he does turn out to be a serious bad man.
Yeah, he's cancelled.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah, he's got fudge on his teeth. Get him cancelled.
I didn't think that. I was like, hang on a minute.
Has he just had a brownie?
Has he had a finger of fudge? Cancelled.
He's had a mini roll.
Has he just had a brownie and forgotten to suck his teeth afterwards? He's saving it for later. That's it.
In terms of ratings, IMDb has it at 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes critics score is 71% and the audience score is 63%. They didn't like it as much as the critics. Letterboxd is at 3.3 out of 5 average. And a couple of choice reviews here. Mary J, or Marie J, but not a day in my childhood life was I not terrified of this orange-haired little bitch. And I think she means a doll more than
not Mick Hucknall from
Simply
Red.
4 stars. She gave it. And Lars Adams said, "How are you going to let a doll kill you? Push his little ass away." 3 stars.
I think you said this on a previous episode. Like that's who you'd want to fight because even though Chucky might be strong, he's not going to be heavy. You can wazz him.
It's weird. I don't have no idea how strong he is because his strength does seem to change throughout.
It fluctuates, yeah. It fluctuates. Sometimes he can like overpower people, and other times he can literally get tossed off.
Yeah.
I just feel like it'd be quite a good feeling to boot him across the room. He's coming at you with like a play knife or whatever, and you just, I don't know.
Give him a swift booting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Push his little ass away. What, push him ass first away?
That's like bums rushing out of the shop. Go on, leave.
Getting him under the arms. And surely, based on the fact that he's a dolly, he doesn't have the same range of movement in his joints that you do. So he's going to be quite stiff if you just grab him by the hair.
Well, actually, his arm twists all the way around. I think it's fabric. Because there's one scene where the babysitter's like dragging him across the floor and his arms all the way bent around. So I think he's just...
Or
so he's actually
like,
more flexible.
Has he got like opposable thumbs? Or has he
or
just
like
got like his little
mitten hands like a Tots TV?
Well, at one point he creeps his fingers around the door. Super scary, like. So he has got all... It's
fully
weird.
articulated hands.
I don't understand. He's not bound by the limits of most dolls. Most dolls... I mean, you can't get to stand up. Like they keep like tumbling over because they're not balanced right.
Stand up, you little shits! Watch me.
He's got such massive heads as well, so it's really hard.
His head is massive, and his hair looks like it weighs a hell of a lot. Also, hair like that, if you get a naked flame near it, it's going up. Like
especially the materials he would have been made in the late 80s. Go like a shell suit factory.
Did I ever tell you what happened to my Michelangelo figurine?
I think you might have. Did you leave him on a light bulb or something?
Left him on a lamp, and he like melted in half. And instead of being because I wasn't a little spoiled brat, I didn't go, can I have another Michelangelo? He was like, he'd been injured in a fight. That's what I told myself.
Been injured in a fight. Toxic ooze state.
Yeah, and every time we brought him out, it was like, he was just a horrible burnt bloke.
Did his burns give him extra strength like Darkman, or was he like weakened in the stories?
To wait for the pizza to cool down, Michael.
Molten cheese on your tongue.
No, never waits.
No one ever waits. And you know when you do it and you think, I regret this, but then the molten cheese like wraps around your tongue and you're like, it's got me.
I see that. Where the guy the toy shop is next door. He goes to the wrong door and he's in a pizzeria and he has to go, I need to voodoo myself into one of these pizzas.
Does it have to be human shaped, or can he just voodoo himself into anything? Otherwise, why doesn't he turn himself into a car or anything?
Also, like, I mean, he doesn't do anything to the doll specifically, does he? It's just there next to him, and it's like comes the spell is in the form of a lightning strike. It could hit anything. It could end up in a little toy cut, like a Tonka truck. Oh, imagine that.
You could end up in a toilet brush. Oh, for fuck's sake, this isn't how I wanted to live out the rest of my days.
Little Mighty Max.
I'm tiny.
Mighty Max set.
I'm tiny. That would be good.
Yeah. Polly Pocket. Oh, hello. Okay. So, who got in this? Brad Dourif. I really like Brad Dourif. I can't really think of like anything like in particular, but he always stands out whenever he
Alien Resurrection, I think, is the film.
Oh yeah,
being in the most because he kind of wanted to.
He looks more like an alien than a xenomorph.
Yeah, he wanted to show his xenomorph as well, and he was kissing the window when he was doing. He's obviously
he's always kissing them windows in that film. I've forgotten how odd he was in that.
Lord of the Rings, Worm Tongue as well.
Yeah.
Things, isn't he?
He's a sheriff in one of the Halloween sequels.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. He's all over it.
Yeah. Catherine Hicks, I didn't recognize. She plays the mum character. I did recognize Chris Sarandon, who plays Detective Mike Norris. He's the vampire, the apple-eating vampire from Fright Night, which was also written and directed by
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland, yeah.
Tom Holland, not Spider-Man. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I recognize it. It was one of those for ages where I was watching it thinking, who's that man? Recognize that man. Who is he? Who is he? Don't look. It'll come to you in a minute. And then it did.
Yeah.
Apple eating vampire dude.
didn't recognize pretty much anyone else other than well, I didn't recognize the kid. Although the kid looks a bit like Chucky. He wears the same clothes and stuff.
Yeah. Oh God, get over it, innit? Oh,
He's big into the good guys, and I guess I don't know. It's got a certain 80s sensibility to it. Like it feels like it'd fall into the Care Bears vibe and things like that. Not sure it would be the biggest thing though.
Yeah.
Not sure it'd stand up to like fun animal things that there would be.
If it's for proper young kids, in it, because I think I would have got to a certain age. I'd have been like, "What's that? The good you like the good guys? Do you? Oh my God, you loser!"
It's all about street sharks now, Grandad.
Square.
All about the bloody biker mice from Mars. All right,
biker mice from Mars, Toxic Crusaders. What was the I don't know, kids. How old is this little boy supposed to be? Like 8, 10, 13?
I think he's like little. He's like
I reckon
6, 5, 6.
Yeah,
that seems a bit. 5 or 6 seems a bit old to be playing with good guy dolls and Fisher Price trucks or whatever he does.
Come on, get over. He should be into monster trucks and stuff by now.
Gives you monster in my pockets. Come on.
He could be into anything he wants for as long as he wants. You know.
What those? Boglins. I bet he's got his bedroom full of boglins.
Imagine them all coming to life and trying to kill you. That'd be horrible.
Yeah, it'd be great. Oh, I mean, horrible.
Okay. Great. Okay.
It'd be Boston, yeah. Yeah. So do we know? Did little Andy go into being anything else?
Andy Barclay. He is in. So he's in all the Child's Plays and stuff. He's in the Chucky TV show as well.
Is he?
What?
Yeah, I don't know if he's like supposed to be the same character or not. Maybe he is. I don't know. He plays. Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
he's a sound engineer as well.
The same guy. He's a sound engineer. Well, I don't know what he's like in person. He's sound, mate.
Sound.
He's an engineer. He's a twat engineer.
He's just a regular. He builds bridges and stuff, but he's brilliant. Just a really nice guy.
He's absolutely sound. Sound as a pound, you would say.
He's the. This is a bit personal, maybe. He's the owner and producer at AV Productions Recording Studio, a production company in Clearwater, Florida. So.
Oh, I'm glad he's doing well. Well done, Andy.
Yeah.
Well done, Andy. I'm so glad you didn't get killed by a tiny doll.
Or take the fate of many child actors.
Yeah, and just become
a mess. Yeah, but he's all right. Good for you.
And just become fucking mess. All right, you're not a mess. It's fine. He might be a mess. We don't know him personally, but
he's a sound engineer.
He's a sound engineer, mate. Yeah. What's everyone's sort of relationship with this franchise? Because I'm a very sort of casual. I think I've only ever seen this one, the remake, and maybe like Bride of Chucky. I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Bride of Chucky is the one I've seen the most because I think I'm older than you guys, but it was the one that was out at the right time for me to be able to go and see it at the cinema and stuff like that. Whereas the ones that followed it, you know, your Seed of Chucky's and your Cult of Chucky's, by that time I think they were coming out on DVD straight away rather than that. So I've missed some of those ones at very least. Bride of Chucky I'd seen a number of times. These originals, again, having been banned for a period at the time I might have been seeking out horror films on TV, I'd kind of missed them for a while, so I went back to some of these later.
Yeah. The same as you, I think, Ben. I was getting confused between this one and there's one when they're in a toy factory, which I think is maybe the second one. I'm not too sure. But I really liked the remake. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Bride of Chucky, I just remember certain lines. I remember like him that they're having sex or something. He says, "I'm made of plastic," or "I'm made of rubber," or something.
Made of rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's weird because I haven't seen that since I was like 11, like Andy's age, not Andy Codrick Turner, Andy the sound engineer age.
Yeah, the sound engineer, Andy.
And the sound podcast host, Andy.
But watching this, I'm like, why haven't I sought them all out before? I really liked some of the voodoo stuff, and I liked all that kind of. I don't know. It's got a cheeky link to it all. that it doesn't take itself quite as seriously.
Cheeky
as
wink, and it feels kind of like iconic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's something about it. Whereas the remake was fine. I kind of enjoyed it, but the Chucky doll did look a bit weird.
There's something about that's going on around about now, like creepy toys coming to life and killing you, like the Five Nights at
Freddy's, yeah.
Which is that getting a film deal or something?
Isn't the Wally's Wonderland come off the back of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Is it like a failed Five Nights at Freddy's project, and it wasn't going to go ahead? So okay, we'll change it just enough.
I
Four nights.
Fortnights at Freddy's. I forgot to say I played a game called Poppy's Playtime, which again is it's definitely this. It's like it's a first-person short horror game. I don't think it's very long. And you go to like a toy factory, and then like these cuddly toys come to life and try and get you. It's really good.
Is that the game you were playing? The little video clip of you?
Yeah.
So there's something so wholesome about that little video clip. Well, I like the
little cat ears.
You can track it down. I think it's all on all your socials, isn't it, Luke? But I liked how you kept looking at Kat almost for like.
I didn't know she was filming.
Validation. It was like validation. It was like, see, I'm doing it.
Are you watching? You're not watching.
You're not bloody watching. I'm doing it. Look at my cat ears and all this. That was lovely. It was lovely.
It's really good.
I like what we do with this one. Like you guys say, it's like taking those things like the toys and making them like a danger or thing. And I think this comes up with like horror when you're a little kid as well, and you're the age to have these dolls and toys. I remember there being, maybe it's because it was the 80s, there'd always be those scares of, oh geez, there's broken glass in Nerds, and that Noah's Ark, that's got a sharp corner on it, that's being recalled. I feel like toys and everything got recalled more in the 80s and were incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
That kid swallowed a Weeble, can't sit down anymore.
Oh my God. Yeah.
In many ways, Weebles are the most powerful entities that were ever existed. Unknockdownable. I tried to make them stay down.
They do wobble, though.
They wobble.
I can't remember what you
Didn't
talking
fall
about.
down.
What the hell's a Weeble?
They wobble, Luke, but they don't fall down.
It's just basically
they're just these little plastic people, and instead of having legs, instead of having the Chucky problem that you identified that dolls don't stand up, they're basically just big old weighted balls, and you can knock them, they come right back for more.
Like it's a person, and it's like a punch bag person.
Yeah, like a punch bag person.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like somebody who's into visiting a dominatrix. Balls, the balls, you can knock them, but they keep coming back for more. Yeah. Come on, stamp on them, tread on them. Ah, I love you.
Yeah, Weeble level toughness. Yeah, but yeah, there was always a thing about toys and like these things that you love, and like, oh, watch out, they might actually. Unless I was just an incredibly neurotic little kid, who knows?
Well, they used to smell different, didn't they? Like plastic toys. I remember they used to smell a certain way. Nowadays, toys
used to smell of toxic paint.
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean. I think when I burnt my Michelangelo, there was definitely some sort of
I changed
black smoke coming off. I went straight up my nose. And I could see sound.
For the next few days, you could change the TV channel by blinking.
Yeah, I teleported to school. Oh shit. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. But like with the scary toy things, I think even in like kids films, that's always kind of been present. Especially in the 90s, obviously there was like scary-ish bits in Toy Story. Remember all of Sid's creepy toys that he put together, like the doll's legs on a.
Oh yeah. Like a big doll's head on like a Meccano spider and like a pterodactyl face.
This is reminding me of one of my favorite films. You just about to say it.
Small Soldiers.
Yeah,
I've seen it in so long. I love Small Soldiers so much.
Yeah. Small Soldiers, but like I guess it kind of goes alongside like a lot of 80s things, like obviously Gremlins, just like little weird, creepy things that come to life and
they can come and get you. I think now we've all mentioned Small Soldiers. I might have to start like a campaign to somehow get it qualified as a horror film. I spent to make a T-shirt for it. There's a scary bit with those mutilated Barbies.
To be honest, Andy, it is a horror film.
Right. Campaign for a Small Soldiers episode.
Well,
tiny
Toy
soldiers.
Story then.
Well, no,
Toy Story then, all right?
This is Tommy Lee Jones is inside
Major Chip Hazard.
Chip. It's a terrifying horror movie that scarred me. Gave me kinder trauma. It's like your own toys are coming back, and they tie up a young girl. Devastating.
Kirsten Dunst.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
Kirsten Dunst.
There's an EMP.
Is it Kirsten Dunst who's in it? I was about to say it's Scarlett Johansson, but she's in something else like that. Do you remember Indian in the Cupboard as well?
Yes,
that was
I
weird.
do. Saw that at the cinema.
Yeah,
it literally came to life. There's that really cool bit when you open the cupboard. It's like Darth Vader and a T-Rex and stuff in the cupboard. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then they close the cupboard. I'm like, what is this film even doing?
There's a bloody Indian in a cupboard. All right, have a look again. It's an Indian in a cupboard. Okay, yeah.
What happened if you just put a normal thing in that cupboard, like a
Hamster
sandwich? Hamster.
Oh, you turn your hamster into a toy.
What was the crux of Indian in a Cupboard?
I can't remember what happened. They just all got along. He
Probably
had,
a metaphor for loneliness or something like that. I don't know.
He gave him a little family. Couldn't he have like a little Indian family in his cupboard?
Yeah, maybe.
I think he left loads of like litter in the cupboard, and then the Indian cried. I don't remember. I can't remember exactly what happened.
That's a fucking poem, that is. Litter was left in cupboard. Indian cried.
I mean, maybe the Indian escaped one night, wreaked havoc with his tiny peep shooter. It's called that because it's so small. Did you hear that? It's like a gnat. Just flew past my ear.
I'm now getting Indian in the Cupboard confused with like Cat's Eyes, and now in my mind the Indian saves him from a goblin, but that's not what happens. That is the film Cat's Eyes.
I think the point we're making is that like any weird little things that come to life, it has an element of horror to it. Because you know, if something, I mean, look around in the room. Is there anything in the room that you can see? And if it came to life and shit yourself, I got like a Marshmallow Man, but he's obviously small.
This robot statue that busted my phone this week. He's a real life horror. He's got some sharp edges on him.
I've actually got a Michelangelo on the cupboard.
Melted.
On the shelf. No, this one's completely there. Absolutely solid.
Rock solid, not melted at all.
It'd be a goodie though if he came to life. You'd be alright.
Solid, not rock steady. I haven't got him.
So this film begins with a chase scene.
Yeah.
Cop and serial killer. So it's Detective Mike Norris.
It's called like not the Scranton Strangler. That's from The Office.
What's weird though is that like if he's a serial killer, it almost seems like in this initial sequence, like obviously he's got an accomplice who leaves him alone.
Yeah, they're chasing him after a robbery or something like that. Yeah.
Right? So why? It's almost like they're calling him a serial killer, but I don't know. It sounds.
I guess he's all messed up. Also, his motives. They call him a strangler. I think he strangles one person.
Not even to death, just for a while.
Oh, what? So you do something once, and that's your nickname, is it? Oh, great.
Yeah,
it's like Uncle Blade all over again. Used a knife one time.
Wore a hat once. Jimmy the Hat. Oh yeah. Don't wear a hat anymore.
Maybe. I mean, I guess let's be fair to Charles Lee Ray here. Strangling doesn't pay the bills, does it? So
I feel like if you look at him as a killer in general, and you think, what's the one defining thing about this guy as a killer? I'd be like, he's a doll. Can
we not just call him the doll? The Strangler sounds. The Strangler makes people scared. It look better on a newspaper. The Strangler strikes again. The doll strikes again. People won't believe you. No one really believes it. No one believes that there's a killer doll in this film until they're killed by the doll. Or like a what? Oh, I'm dead. Or attacked by the doll, you know.
Just everyone's died with like a surprised face.
It was a bloody doll after all. Also, this guy, how does he dress? Because
in his dad's coat.
He's got like his dad. He's got like Kevin McAllister's dad's coat from Home Alone. Remember the one where he mixes them up because he's chasing after him in the airport. He's got that coat on. He's got a lovely tie with a little clip on it. Lovely.
Yeah, I'll wear my clip on. I'll wear my tie with my tie clip while I go out strangling.
He looks like one of the bank robbers in Heat before they put the masks on. He just looks like he's just so well dressed. Yeah.
But he's on the run, and he thinks, where can I hide myself? In this toy shop. He probably noticed the same thing that I did. He looks at the window, he goes, oh, Dizzy Dinosaur. Love that game. Yeah. He's in.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, Dizzy Dinosaurs by the door. I had a copy of that. It was a great game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it like Hungry Hippos?
No, it's like a board game effectively, and you go round, you've got to get your cavemen round the thing, but then at some points you will unleash the Dizzy Dinosaur, and it's a very erratic clockwork dinosaur. And if he knocks you over, back to the start.
Cavemen existing at the same time as dinosaurs. I think you should tell the makers of that game that it was millions of years apart. Okay, yeah. Millions.
But muddled up mammoth probably wouldn't have sold so well.
Yeah.
That was quick.
He gets shot, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm dying." I think he even says that out loud, just so the audience.
For fuck's sake, I'm dying. Yeah.
And then he finds a doll, and I watched this back to try and work out what he was saying. I think it's just gibberish. He just starts chanting.
He's doing a Haitian voodoo spell
in the subtitles. Haitian voodoo spell.
It comes out of nowhere, doesn't it? He goes, "Hey up, Dumbala, give me the power I beg of you, the power of Grey Skull." And he says like some random words that didn't translate from anything I could follow. Yeah. And then lightning comes down into the most volatile toy store in the world. It's like Judgment Day.
It's like it's horrific. This explosion is insane. Like
the policeman gets blasted across the road.
Yeah. You'd be like, what the hell? What caused that to happen? A bit of lightning came down.
What I love, this lightning comes in through the glass roof of the shop. Literally everything explodes. The policeman gets like knocked out onto the street. The entire building explodes, and then he it subsides. And he gets back up. The policeman is just fine. He wasn't killed in literally like the Independence Day level explosion.
He just dusts himself off. He just dusts himself off. He goes, bloody hell, that was close.
That was a big explosion. And then Charles is just there, completely not obliterated, just dead.
Yeah,
like he's died peacefully in his sleep.
He's just gone. Bloody hell, that was scary. I've died of a heart attack. So there's just the corpse, and then we get a look at the Chucky doll. Well, sorry, the good guy doll, just looking all happy. At this point, you just think, well, that was unfortunate. What could have possibly happened?
Yeah. And then we're introduced to what's her name? Karen and Andy.
Yep.
Boy. He's 6. It says he's 6 here, and he makes.
Oh, he makes that breakfast.
It's his birthday, but he makes her breakfast in bed.
Makes breakfast in bed, and it's the most upsettingly chaotic breakfast.
He makes that toast that you make, Andy.
It's pure chaos. It's like
cancer.
He makes cancer toast.
I'll put a bowl of cereal
ice cream on it or something.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be butter, right? And he puts
clotted cream on cancer toast, and then gives her a big old bowl of like cereal.
How much milk shall I put on this bowl of cereal? Probably
all of it.
Probably all of it. Yeah.
If I took that tray of soup to my mum and dad in the morning, said,
and you left a trail of milk as well,
they would be steaming.
On your birthday, though,
I think they'd punch me in the face. They'd take it in turns. They'd treat me like one of them ball boys you're talking about.
What? Yeah. Why is he making breakfast in bed on his birthday? Should be the other way around.
He's been up since
he's
6,
excited,
isn't
isn't he? Yeah.
And there's nothing on TV except the Good Guys show, and he's like, "I've seen this one. It's shite."
You know what it is though? Like this shows that Good Guys wouldn't be as popular as, because if he gets his mom up at 6:30 and Good Guys is already on, that means this is the really early morning like cartoons that are on. This is like David the Gnome level cartoons. This isn't your mainstream ones. These are like
David
you're
the Gnome.
really, yeah.
Was it supposed to be Chucky in this? Is it like the
All the
Chucky-
good guys have got an individual name, so it's
Yeah,
like
that's right.
Chucky is just that doll's name.
Yeah.
This might be a
Yeah.
major one. Like this is the major
Ron.
Chip Hazard of
Keith.
Yeah.
Keith the doll.
Dennis.
Yeah, so that happens, and then he opens his birthday presents. Obviously, he's
Oh
hoping to
man, this is a true horror.
Why?
A true horror has come up here.
This doesn't make any sense because
makes no sense.
she boxes it up in a packet that looks exactly the right size for the doll.
What?
And it's not the doll. It's like the pajamas or something.
Just like a pair of jeans.
She's like, it might be your birthday, but the gift, I want my gift, which is heartbreak. I want to see the heartbreak on your face.
And she positions it really well. She's like, we really needed these clothes. And he's like, oh,
Yeah, that's what
so
I want for my
good.
birthday, stuff I need.
Yeah, he's like,
so
I'm glad I gave you
gutted.
that cancer toast now, Mum.
So gutted that's what, like, now as an adult, love her clothes for a love of, you know, love her clothes for a present, because I really like an abundance of really nice socks and pants and things like that, but pain in the ass to go buy them. So I love them for a Christmas or a birthday.
And now I hate it when I get dolls.
Yeah,
It's the other way around.
when you're an adult, you can buy your own
Oh, for
dolls.
fuck's sake. Another
Mum.
doll. Yeah,
I like good
Anna's
guy
got a
dolls.
serial killer ghost living in it.
Oh,
Oh, you really needed these clothes. Oh, thanks, Mom. The worst thing that can happen when you're a kid, literally to you.
yeah.
Devastated.
I mean, I understand maybe getting your kid some trousers, but why box it up to look like a good guy doll? That just seems
Yeah,
needlessly mean.
that just
To
seemed
open on his birthday.
Playing the
just
theme
that
tune on the TV. Oh, look what's on. Winks at him.
What could it be?
Is it like wrapped in like good guy paper and all sorts? It's
Yeah.
like,
And then
Sick.
he looks really smudged. She's like, ah. Points at him.
sucked in kid. But she has got him some toys. She's got him a good guy's toolbox.
Yeah.
She's got him an accessory for the toy that he wants as well.
Oh yeah. What is she playing at? She is really. I mean, I know money must be tight for her, but
Well,
as a
she said
single mum-
something like she hadn't had time or something.
So it
Um,
hasn't come out like she didn't know about the doll until she didn't have enough time to save up for it. So
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
then she goes to work. The boss is saying she's a prick or something.
yeah, he's like
Just
a classic 80s boss who just comes in as needlessly an arsehole.
Yeah. But then her sister or her cousin or something, I think it's her sister. She says she knows where you can buy a Chucky doll.
Oh, there's this filthy peddler who's just got one. He's outside right now.
He's got poo on his teeth, but don't worry about that. so she goes.
Oh, I ain't going out there now. What's that?
Don't mind
He's got one.
that. Well, don't be prejudiced.
Never mind that. It's probably brownie. It's probably brownie. He can't brush his teeth. We can select this guy because he is a wrong one. So
Just
fine.
because
Yeah.
he's harmless doesn't mean his toy's wrong. I mean, he's got poo on his teeth, but
She goes out and does some classic. This is how I would haggle for a thing. This is why I can't just haggle. I need to have like the defined parameters of how much a thing costs, and that's what I
Yeah.
can pay for it.
yeah,
But with the peddler, it doesn't work like that. He's like, right, this Chucky doll retails at $100. I will take, can I have 50? You can have it for you can have 50. And then a mate is the friend that you always have that is really forceful. No, I should give you no more than a tenner. It's like, no.
She'll give you a fucking £6 for it, all right?
but
Take
then
it or leave it.
he agrees on 30, and then she pays him 50, and then he reveals the teeth as he walks away.
There's this big old smile.
Yeah, and then he like points at his penis. I think he says something like,
He says,
"This is the penis." Oh, I can't remember what he says.
Oh, she says something like, "Oh, this better not be this better not be stolen. He goes, yes, steal this. And I was like,
That's it. Steal this. Makes no
Steal
sense.
steal your penis.
You want me to steal your penis?
Well,
they just went, all right, just
that.
got like a knife out. All right, fair enough. Turn around.
Fair enough. Poo teeth.
Yeah, we're giving this guy a hard time, for just being a homeless peddler, but actually, because as you say, he's a wrong and later, so we're preemptively giving him shit,
giving him some
his
shit.
teeth.
Giving him shit.
Don't give him shit. He'll eat it. So then, what's her name? The sister. I can't remember her name.
They get back to work. They get back to work. Is it one of these things? Are they not related? They just mates, but the little boy calls her auntie because he's a little boy.
Okay.
And children can't comprehend the concept of your parents just having friends.
Yeah,
that's annoying. You could. My auntie growing up. Well, she wasn't my auntie. She was my mum's friend. What? That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's very weird. So she has to work late. Why does she have to work so late?
Because the boss just says like, "Oh, someone's called in sick, so you've got to do the night shift as well."
She works in like a Boots or something, isn't she?
It's a Selfridges. It's like a big department store.
Yeah.
Yeah, Selfridges,
Boots.
Boots.
Same thing. Yeah, but so she works, I guess, selling. She must work in the stock room.
Yeah, so she says, right, can you? Yeah, I understand you've got to pick up your kid. You can pick him up, but you've got to be back by 7 for the night shift. So Karen's able to run home and just give little Andy his dolly. So there you go, here's Chucky, and then I'm back off to work.
Yeah,
and he's made up, isn't he?
He loves it.
He loves it. I think I don't know when he starts talking to it, and maybe quite early on.
He puts him on straight away and he's like, all right, I'm Chucky. You want to play? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So I switched you on for, Chucky. Come on. Not here to fuck spiders, mate. Let's go. Let's go play.
We don't hear his real voice for quite a while. We don't see any movement for quite a while. At the minute, we just see a doll.
Yeah. So are we supposed to think that he immediately woke up in the body of Chucky and he's gone, I'm just going to pretend to be a doll for a little while because I don't want too much attention on
me. Do you reckon he has the inherent knowledge of Chucky the doll, so he knows what his phrases are? Or is he just really on brand? I was thinking,
because is he putting on the voice? Hello, I'm Chucky. Like, is he putting it?
What did he think when he woke up and he was in the and he was?
That's it though. I just realised he's in the box, isn't he? He's had time to read the manual.
Yeah. But
he's in the possession of a homeless man with poo on his teeth. He was like, shit, this ain't all it's cracked up to be.
So the doll doesn't have any batteries in, we find out later. So it can't be doing the voice electronically. So it must be Brad Dourif doing an impression. Also, so because he's basically in the doll now. Does that mean like if he gets an itch or something, like he has to scratch himself, or can he just, I don't know, just be still? It seems like a weird.
I mean,
I wouldn't be able to be that still.
Scratch his eyes. I mean, it might be a Toy Story like scenario where when he's on his own, he can do whatever the hell he wants. As soon as Andy walks into Andy as well, just noticed the kid's called Andy. What?
Oh yeah.
Andy. Yeah. As soon as Andy walks in, he'll drop to the ground.
Just ragdoll it. Yeah.
Yeah. So so the best friend is watching TV that night, and
she's watching Andy because the
wants to watch the 9
shift.
o'clock news, but because she doesn't let it. It's like she drags him into the bedroom. That's why Chucky wants to kill her.
Yeah, because he's not allowed to stay up and watch. He's not allowed to stay up and watch the news because obviously it's Andy's bedtime. She's like, "Oh, Chucky wants to stay up and watch the 9 o'clock news." He says, "Well, tough shit, Chucky. Get to bed."
That would also be annoying if you were an adult in a doll's body and then they were like, "It's bedtime now, 7 p.m." You'd be like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
Yeah,
I've got things to do.
Chucky could have played a different game here, where he could have said to the little boy, because he's been talking to him at this point, because obviously he's letting him know he wants to watch the news. You could say to the kid, "Oh, just leave us in here for a bit."
Yeah, don't take me to bed with you. I want to sleep with you, mate. Come on.
You could you could be smart about it. So, I'm going to invent a new brilliant ace game for us to play. So don't worry. Don't even worry about it. You just go to bed. I'll be around.
I don't know, kids. don't kids like always have like sticky hands and stuff, and they're always like
Oh
gumming
yeah,
the toys.
it'd be filthy in no time.
Gum in the toys. Yeah, but he's 6. He's not
I don't know,
1 year.
Being a kid as
Stop
well,
gumming
like
Stop gumming that toy.
quite often play a game that would like definitely endanger toys, like you and your Michelangelo then, and be like, I wonder how this will fare as if part of this story this thing falls down the stairs, and it'd be really sad if anything actually broke.
Yeah. Okay, so I think he's watching the TV or cleaning up, and then we get the thing where it's just the point of view of the camera, and they just add on some like some footstep sounds.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's all you need. And then you have the occasional shot of a small person running between sofas.
Like going tee-hee.
Yeah.
Who's that then?
Yeah.
Poor little Andy gets done once because Chucky puts the TV back on one time and she goes, even though it's your birthday, I am immediately livid with you.
Yeah. But then Chucky finds the hammer.
Yep.
The little toy hammer, yeah.
Hammers are in the head, and then
It's got to be a real hammer, isn't it? So he pretty much hammers her in the head or the face, and then she falls out the window.
She goes flying out the window.
I assumed it was the toy hammer from the Chucky toy box.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes
caves her head in. That's not suitable for children, you know.
Well, toys in the 80s were not suitable for children. You could cave a head in with a toy hammer.
Never tried. So that immediately happens. She falls, lands on like a car, smushed, dead.
People always land on a car in a film.
Yeah, I know. What a way to go. And then Karen comes home.
Yeah, she comes home to find
sees a commotion.
Police everywhere.
Oh, okay, yeah. And the detective, like, look at these tiny footprints. I think it's your son, but he hints that it's your son that's doing some bad stuff.
It was like, I think it's your son, but I've checked all his shoes and the footprints don't match. And then the kid walks in and goes, so look at the shoes that are actually on your feet. What are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing my good guy jammies. And they match. So the detective didn't check the shoes he was already wearing.
Yeah.
I'll check the cupboards in case he tried to cover up this murder.
But then he checks Chucky's shoes.
Same.
And he goes, hang on a minute. It had to have been Chucky. Immediately throws him under the bus.
Yeah, he snitches on him right away, does little Andy.
Yeah.
Says,
this is when their relationship started breaking down.
It was Chucky.
They met. Yeah, so he basically claims it was Chucky, and classic police, all right? Just to go, oh yeah, all right, mate. You really think so, do you? Well, sorry. And I think Karen, in the end, tells the police to leave, but we get a classic, hey, if you think of anything else, then give me a call.
Yeah, take my card, because you will call us, won't you? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll call you. So obviously, Andy is being whispered to now by Chucky, who's basically telling him different things, like, oh, just take me downtown.
Well, he totally throws himself under the bus as well, because like Andy's talking to Karen the next morning. Says, oh, Auntie, whatever the character. What's the character's name that's dead? It's Auntie
Maggie.
Auntie Maggie.
Yeah,
she's a real bitch. Deserved it.
Yeah, he says like Chucky says that she's a bitch or something like that. Yeah, because he can't watch the news. And this
loves the news. Chucky, classic adult of the 80s. Remember when you're in the 80s and the 90s, your mum and dad always want to watch the blooming news.
Yeah, they always want to watch the news anyway.
What's happening around the world? I don't care. I love my blissful ignorance.
So this is the point where Andy and Chucky, I think they're going to school, but they get on this really dodgy train on their own.
She drops them off at school the next day. Said, "Oh, you sure you're right to go to school just like normal? The like mere hours after this woman that you know really well was killed. Yeah, be fine."
I'm fine. Also, I was like, he can't be taking that massive doll with him to school. But then I noticed a couple of people in the background are also carrying good guy dolls into school. I'd be like,
they've normalized it.
If I was a head teacher, I would put a stop to it immediately. So don't bring a
ban them faster than
doll.
Pokemon cards. No, can't have them in.
Any size of them?
Do you guys have a doll when you were growing up? Like this kind of doll? The only thing I can think is My Pet Monster. I think I have one of those. Do you remember that one?
I had some Boglins, and my sister. This is probably the closest thing. My sister had a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Little chubby cheeks.
Yeah, little chubby cheeks, rock hard head. There was one occasion where I don't know why she did this. I should take this up with her actually. She was annoyed with me. I was asleep in my parents' bed at the time because I was ill. I'd been sick, so I'd vomited in my bed. So mum was in the middle of changing that, and I was like asleep in my mum and dad's bed, like comatose because I was poorly. And my sister thought, I don't know, maybe she's younger than me. Maybe she was trying to get my attention and to call me or something like that. But she woke me from my ill stupor by taking a Cabbage Patch doll by the feet and swinging it and like nutting me with it.
Jesus
right
Christ.
and then just woke, and like, you know, when like your defense is at zero, because like I wasn't, like I was asleep, so there was nothing I could do about it. Just got nutted full in the face by this Cabbage Patch doll.
Whose
A great big
idea
fat
was
lip.
it? Was it your sister's or was it the
It was
doll's?
the Cabbage Patch doll. It was Chucky's. Yeah.
Now you've shown us My Pet Monster. I do remember that. I don't know if I
Yeah.
have one, but I do
A
remember it.
little handcuffs, which
Bring 'em up.
now seem a little bit, I don't know.
Oh yeah, my cousin had a My Pet Monster. Similar
it.
era to like the Werebear.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Is
the
that-
werebear.
I think they're called Care Bears. I don't remember
The
the
opposite
Werebear.
of a Care Bear. Yeah.
Werebear.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Over there.
So obviously, so it's so easy for Andy to skip school. He walks into school, his mum leaves, and he just goes, "Fuck this!" Turns around, leaves school, gets on a train to go to like a dodgy downtown Chicago area. No one on the train says, "Are you on your own there?" Oh no, he's with a doll. So he's probably all right, I suppose.
Yeah. And it's like you go to like a little playground next to this one solitary crack house that's just like looks like it wants to be demolished, but no one's got
Doesn't-
around to it yet.
Doesn't Andy go, "Wait there a minute, I need a pee," and just
Yeah. Oh,
It's
wait
like
a
the
minute,
longest
Chucky.
pee in the world. That time he's peeing, Chucky does this. Then a little doll sneaks into a house,
Put
blows
the
it
gas
up.
on.
the second massive explosion of this film. Like, what was the explosion quota?
After the
this
explosion's
movie?
done, yeah, Andy zips himself up and goes, "Right, what did I miss?"
What did I miss? Usually a big explosion happens when I get that little fella out. What I'm saying, right?
And he
And
gets to look
then-
for him for a second. He's like, well, I remember, like you're so fragile when you're 6. If things go slightly like wrong, it's being 6 is not that far removed from the time where like if you can't have your drink in the cup that you wanted in, it is like the end of the world. But he's pretty calm about it. He's like, Chucky, oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
You're right. You didn't die. You didn't die in that explosion. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah.
Shall we go home?
But
so
that
it's
is Chucky's partner, right? That his partner in crime that abandoned him on the day that he swore revenge on as he was dying.
and this guy is
blows him
too,
right
like,
up.
he's trigger happy. This guy as well. So I kind of think
Yeah.
it's your own fault getting killed because you walk around this. I know it's a crack house, but you walk around it and immediately thinking someone's in this crack house. Crack houses strike me as a place where people are coming and going all the bloody time.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
revolving doors.
You don't know who's there and who's. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you hear a noise, you're going to go out and start shooting at people. Like, for fuck's sake, chill out.
I mean, technically speaking, did Chucky actually kill this guy? I mean, he put the gas on.
Yeah, I
Kill
put the
himself.
gas on all the time in this house.
He's putting the gas on to warm up the house for him.
Yeah, he's probably
I'm
gone.
sorry for him.
We've had a bit of a disagreement. I'll put the kettle on. Just get the. Yeah.
And if you shoot something and die, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm just
gonna be
going to
swinging
fill the
my
house
arms.
with gas like this.
And if you blow up the house, then it's your fault. Well, I'm just going to be kicking the air like this. If you get in the
So,
way.
The detective turns up, he sees a blown up house, and he sees Andy again stood next to it, and he goes, and then obviously he thinks that Andy's blown up this house. Oh,
Right,
Jesus.
arrested immediately, little boy.
Yeah.
Oh, has Ben disappeared? No, has he? No, he's back.
Back. Yeah, carry on.
So Andy gets taken away to like he gets put in like a weird little prison.
Yes,
He's behind bars.
he's there, and the police. interviewing a 6-year-old for a murder without anyone present. So it's like,
yeah,
Chucky,
you want to do
do
the bad cop routine on this kid?
Yeah. He's hitting him with a phone book. Confess. So he's being interviewed on his own, like a really jovial policeman. He's like the community support officer. We had one called PC Alley when we were growing up in sunny Tamworth. He'd come round and say,
PC Alley.
Yeah, PC Alley. I don't know. Like he had a last name, and when you graduated secondary school, he came in and was like PC, whatever your last name was. But PC Alley used to come round and he used to bring in colouring books. Colour in the things red that you think are dangerous. Like touching the hob. He's interviewing him like that, but like that community police officer is interviewing a little boy for a murder. So you ever bashed a woman's head in and knocked her out the window, Andy?
When you look at this hammer, do you see tool for hitting a nail or tool for hitting a woman in her face?
And
bit of both.
Is this your words here that she was a bitch and deserved this to happen? Well,
who knows?
But
to be
Andy's
honest,
adamant said, no, it's just Chucky. He says all these things.
6-year-old kid, do you know what I mean? Like, how many times? I mean, I know it's happened in America, like kids getting guns and killing people, but how often is a 6-year-old kid actually turned out to be like an actual murderer with intent as well? Like the fact that they're pretty keen to just get him indicted for this is a bit crazy.
Yeah, and they've got this doctor who's there as well, like just in time for Karen she gets called in from work. She goes in and she's able to join the conversation for a while. And literally one sentence in, this doctor comes in and is like, yeah, I've seen enough. He needs to, I think Andy should come with me for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, just come with me for a little while. Sort you out. Don't worry about me. Yeah. But she says no, doesn't she?
He goes in with him at some point.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there another murder before this happens?
No, I'm pretty sure he goes to the nut house now.
Yeah. They literally take him to Arkham Asylum straight away.
The little 6-year-old to the nut house.
They do, and they put him behind these little bars. There's one bit where he's like trying to hold onto the bars, screaming out or something, and the doctor, professor guy, is like, now. I think he's even going to give him an injection or something. But whilst this is happening, the Karen is talking to the doll like, talk to me. And he goes, I'm going to put you in the fire. And he goes, you little bitch. And his face suddenly like, when like you try and take a chew toy away from a dog, and it's like lips bundle up.
Like he gets the big nasty teeth. Yeah, he does the best little. This is, again, even for a film of this age,
I think the puppet stuff is really cool.
The puppet stuff is incredible, and they do a really good thing. And you're right, like she's buying into it, saying it was you, wasn't it, mate? This is a good stretch. This is good parenting. Like, yeah, maybe I will believe that my nice little boy is not responsible for these murders, because it was you, wasn't it? And she has that confirmed when the batteries fall out of the box. They were included though. It's not.
Yes,
the manufacturer's name.
Or
they were including the batteries.
And the homeless man didn't siphon them either. He didn't steal them away and use them for something.
They still had batteries, but they weren't in Chucky. So she's like, right, you are going in this fire. For someone who's struggling for money, got an open fireplace in their apartment. That's nice. And then you're right, he like does the nasty face. He goes, "You bitch! I'll teach you to mess with me," and he bites her.
I love they did the rubber tango thing for a little bit, but he bites her on the wrist. I think it looks like he makes like a proper little bite mark. I'm quite glad that he doesn't do that thing in horror movies where he like bites and rips the flesh off. I feel like that'd be too much. I think just like
gives her a nasty pinch.
Yeah, nasty pinch. Yeah.
Do you reckon to actually
annoying little
bastard?
bastard?
Sorry, Ben, you go.
I said he's just like an annoying little bastard, isn't he? Like he's not got super strength, and he's not this like it's pretty easy to beat him, I guess. But it's just because he's so annoying and he's got this little nasty streak to him. That's what makes him so effective.
Yeah. Give you a surprise, won't he?
I don't remember how he gets away. Oh, he like rolls. He chucks him and he rolls under the.
He does
table.
that so many times. How many times does that happen? Every time he gets tossed off, he lands and does like a
Yeah.
rolls
Like
rolls
a combat roll under a sofa.
combat roll under
Quite
a sofa.
agile. Yeah.
Very agile.
So he disappears. I think maybe this is the point where Karen starts to tell the detective or tries to get him to believe her, and that's when the detective is in the car. Is I know you're full of shit. I will never ever believe anything.
He'll never believe it. Yeah, he never believes it. Well, I'm going to go and look.
His head behind.
Oh, that comes next because he still doesn't believe her. The first thing is she goes, right, I'm going to go and find Chucky. I'm going to go to find the peddler that sold him to us. He goes, oh, you can't go there. It's dead dangerous. And he goes, well, I'm going to. She goes there, and this is where the peddler gets cancelled by being really sex offendery.
Yeah.
But then the policeman does turn up. He follows her and goes, right, I'm gonna murder you, homeless man, if you don't tell me where you got the Chucky from. You got it from the old burnt out toy store. And says, but
it's a weird bit because the detective says at the toy store, I was at this toy store and there's a guy called Charlie. What's his name? Charlie Lee.
Charles Lee Ray.
Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
And earlier in the film, Chucky said his full name is Charles Lee Ray to his mum. I'm pretty sure.
So I'll just ignore that. Yeah.
So they could have just gone like, yeah, we're talking about the same guy, like right there. But no, she didn't.
No,
she doesn't do it.
Close to his chest.
You wouldn't, would you?
And then it's the bit that you were saying, like where it's like she's like, well, Charles Lee Ray's dead, and I don't believe a dolly is is a bad one, so I'll be on my way. Thank you for your help. And then Chucky's there, and this is where he keeps up with his strangler name. He strangles him for a bit.
Yeah.
And he's that horrible knife stab as well.
Yeah, through the seat, and like Figgy's like just like Jackie Chan dodging his way out of it.
He's trying to stab him at the asshole.
No.
You ever had that thing? I think we may have discussed this before, but it's just like a random shooting pain in your area, in that area of your body. Ever had that?
I reckon you got a Chucky under your seat.
You got a Chucky under your seat.
That's pretty much it. And it's happened to me before when driving as well. You kind of like go, oh, and it's gone. I think it's just like a muscle spasm in your.
Yeah.
There's a little dolly underneath your chair.
Oh, Chucky, you dirty bastard! Get off! Stab me arse.
So Thingy's like lifting his bum off the seat, and he's like driving with his feet.
Is he still driving at the same time?
He's driving with his feet, and Chucky's like pressing the accelerator pedal with his hand. He makes him crash. But then like there's a bit where like Thingy's upside down in the car. He's like pointing the gun, waiting for it to come, and Chucky's like running around in little circles around the car. And he like steals the knife, and he's like coming to get him. So, but I just feel like
he's
just
more
get out of the car.
He's more effective as a doll against this guy than
he's
he was.
insanely good.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you can't hurt me, mate. I'm invincible."
But then he shoots him, and he turns into slow motion. And he like flies away, and he goes and then a snake dies.
Chucky.
Yeah. And then and then Chucky's like realizes he can get her. He runs away, disappears at that point in time. Cut to the next day where we must miss, the Toy Story 2 adventure across town. Like we miss all of him hijacking cars and stuff. Because he just arrives at
the Voodoo Man's uptown apartment.
It says here his former voodoo instructor.
Yeah, this is dead weird.
That's our job.
Yeah, it is. You got him on Craigslist. So
it's lucky that they get the clues because they painted a mural at Charles Lee Ray's house with him hanging out with the Voodoo Man.
Yeah.
Why would you? Sorry, just talking about this guy. Why would you have a voodoo doll yourself?
Yeah, why would you leave it hanging out?
Unless
why would you not massage it?
Yeah, come on. That's exactly why it is. So he's got a voodoo doll of himself in his bedside cabinet.
That's not mine. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, like that. No, it's not mine. It's definitely not mine. Oh, God, yeah. What does he do to it?
sticks his finger up its bum or something. I don't know.
Fuck's sake.
That has to be
It's
why.
his own personal good guy doll.
You've got a voodoo doll of yourself. What are you going to do? Like give it a hair? Oh, maybe there's more practical. If you give it haircuts and stuff, that'd be convenient.
I guess you could give it baths, like wash it under the sink. Just save yourself some water bills.
You know when you can't get an itch, like on that part of your back, where you're like, can't fucking reach that bit on my back. And he just gets his little voodoo doll and scratches it. It's like,
if he's like,
if you were out and about for the day,
yeah,
you could leave it in bed all nice and warm. You'd be cozy wherever you were.
You're out of money, can't afford a nice meal. Tic Tacs in the garb of the voodoo doll.
It's like I'm eating something which is the equivalent size of a watermelon.
Oh bloody hell! My burps are ever so minty. Lasted for weeks. Minty shit. It should have come out like that. that minty shower gel.
Like a Pez dispenser.
Yeah. So actually, we've established a lot of fun things that you could do with that voodoo doll.
I want one. Yeah.
A voodoo doll of yourself just to do convenient things.
If you've got any enemies, then you're screwed.
Yeah, this is awesome / awful. It reminds me of Tales from the Hood, where the kid makes a drawing of his evil stepdad and scrunches him up. But I really like the effects where he twists, like snaps the legs and stuff, and the guy's arms are like bending around. Really good. It looks brutal.
Yeah, and this is after he's revealed that it stung a bit when you got shot because your body's turning human. I did,
yeah. So I was a bit confused about some of what's happening here. The guy was like, Chucky said, "You taught me how to put my body into a doll or something," and the guy goes, "No." I mean, yes, I did teach you that, but no, you did it wrong.
No,
you're an abomination.
You're using the magic for evil. I was a good voodoo priest, and I only wanted to allow you to cheat. I only want you to cheat death for reasons of good.
Only do good voodoo. All right, that's all I do.
Why I taught voodoo to someone who was preemptively already called the Strangler.
Yeah, but why would you? What else? I mean, it must be a very specific technique, the moving your soul into another thing technique. Why else would he do that? For fun, now, for a laugh.
Before I teach you voodoo magic, you tell me that you're not bad. You're not a baddie. I'm not. What's this here about they calling you a strangler? I like doing those strangle wanks. Well, I'm not here to judge you about that.
Michael Hutchins.
I can't say anything. Listen, mate. I've got a voodoo doll of me, and we get some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I sometimes hang it up in the cupboard and almost wank myself to death. Oh, okay.
I put an elastic band around his neck sometimes.
Chucky's like, I'm going to keep that in the bank, not the wank bank.
So if you're just going about, if you're just going about your evening, and then suddenly a possessed doll possessed by a serial killer who you used to know turns up with your voodoo doll, you'd be like, what am I smoking? I need to stop. This is mad.
I need to keep going. Ride it out.
Yeah,
ride out the bad stuff. But how does he die? Does he just get bent?
So
he gets folded like a deck
He breaks his leg. Like obviously he's questioning him or taunting him, and he breaks his leg, breaks his arm.
Yeah.
And in the end, just before he leaves, when he decides, actually, I ate you, my voodoo mate. So I think he's asking how he can essentially
he needs to move his body into Andy.
You've got to go into the first person you revealed yourself to. It's a good job we didn't get the peddler.
Yeah, booty.
Yeah, but he's like, I revealed myself to a kid. I'm going to be a kid again. Is that any different from your dolly body becoming human, or would you still be a doll? You wouldn't grow up.
I think he said, like, I'm going to be stuck in this doll body forever. But just before, the voodoo teacher said, you're turning human. So you wouldn't be stuck in the doll body forever. You'd be like a small man.
Maybe you'd be permanently doll-sized, though. You wouldn't be a little kid.
Yeah, because you'd be in a little kid's body, but the little kid's body would still grow.
I get the feeling that he could just keep doing this, though. Like, body swapping.
Welcome to the Child's Play franchise.
Yeah.
He's going to swap bodies all over the shop. So yeah, he has a plan now. So he scrunches up the voodoo man. Do you think if you had a voodoo doll of yourself that someone would use it to break its leg, could you mend the voodoo doll and it would make your arm better? Like if you put a plaster on the arm.
You'd have to get it back from him.
It'd be very difficult to bend it back and make it normal again.
You kiss it better. And they'd be like, oh, cured.
Dr. Conduit Turner in the house, everybody. I'll just kiss it better if you want. He's cancelled as well.
He comes in with his stethoscope. I'm going to kiss your boo-boo.
That's how you make dolls better. Like, and there you go.
It does work.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah, I reckon there's a way around that. You could fix that dolly.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't work for this guy. He's been scrunched.
I did think this. Who would win, Chucky or little boy Brahms? Brahms the boy.
Well, Brahms the boy.
He's all scabby inside, isn't he? With the demon inside.
Demon.
We can't say words properly anymore, can we? With a demon, with a Candyman.
I don't know, because I'm a bit confused. So if it's Brahms the bad boy #1, when he's actually just a normal boy stuck in a wall.
He's not. He's just a big man, isn't he?
It's a big man stuck in a wall.
Then he'd probably win. But in the second one, he's a scabby babby.
He's a scabby babby.
I think I told you that. Someone I used to work with used to say, "Oh, I'm starving. I could eat a scabby babby with a shitty ass." That's what she used to say. And I was like, "That's disgusting." And a human baby, cannibalism as well. Sick.
Oh, should eat a Brahms the bad boy too.
Brahms the bad boy too.
I'm gonna say that I don't know. Actually, it's hard because Chucky knows about magic and voodoo, so maybe you could defeat Brahms the scabby babby.
Brahms the bad boy Brahms. So
I'll be rooting for Chucky just because I think he's the underdog in this situation.
Yeah. And
we'll have to wait until the next Brahms comes out. We'll see what Brahms 3 Tokyo Drift is like.
Better not be another Brahms boy. What did we say? Brahms the
Two Brahms, Too Furious.
Yeah, awful. So then, after Chucky leaves, Karen and Mike turn up, and then there's basically the voodoo guy who's, even though he's been stabbed, he's still got enough to basically tell them that even though surely he's never been in this situation before, so how would he know that a man who's transferred his soul into a doll, his heart is fully human at this point, and he's vulnerable to fatal injuries? Like, what, has this happened to you before, voodoo man? Like, what? You've got some experience with it.
It's like, oh, blooming hell, get him in the heart. All right, I will.
Yeah.
And Chucky basically, he goes to the hospital where Andy is, kills that
doctor.
doctor.
Okay.
How does he kill
puts him in the the electric head massager.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, poor Andy is in prison going, Chucky's coming to kill me, he's outside.
Yeah, I think he's like got like a giant needle. He's like, no, he's
he's all right. We'll give you a nice relaxing lobotomy, and forget all about this.
And as he's doing that, he gets a scalpel in the shin or something.
Yeah.
Classic.
I think like the bit where
electroshocked.
He puts him. It reminds me of those. It seems to be coming in like waves. You try those muscle trainer things?
Yeah.
Like he puts that his head, but like his face gets like blacker and blacker, and then his eyes start bleeding.
That happens with the muscle. That happens with the muscle things as well.
Yeah. If
your eyes are bleeding.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah. Oh, must get a 6-pack without losing weight or exercising. Yeah, that's the problem when you get one of those devices and you set it to kill rather than tone.
What are those things in like arcades as well? Like with you like hold on to the bars.
You go to an Alton Towers and it's like, do they
it vibrates horribly on your hand?
Yeah, they actually electrocute you or just vibrate real hard?
It just vibrates, I think. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Hold on to this until it hurts.
Is that
what? Am I paying for this?
Does it hurt after a while? I've never done one. I've never been brave enough. Ben. I think
I've never done one either.
I think I did one, and I think I did it with a friend. You know, like where you hold hands in the middle and you go all the way through us. But it didn't. It didn't. It didn't. It just vibrated a lot on your hand, and it just feels weird.
Yeah.
Very strange.
So I mean, how does he get back to his house?
So Andy basically escapes and flees home, and then I think Karen says to Mike, "Oh, Andy's not here when they go to the hospital. He's not there. And I always taught him to go home if anything bad happened. Always go home, which is handy, Andy. And then they follow him home. So yeah, they pretty much go.
We've established that Andy will be able to find his home. He has managed to get a train all the way across town at this point.
Oh yeah, if he couldn't get home, he'd be well disappointed, wouldn't he? He'd be like, "Come on, mate."
Yeah.
So yeah, they go back home, and here is where the final showdown happens.
I can't remember what happens. I mean, he takes
Chucky,
a policeman out.
Chucky hits him with a baseball bat.
Yeah, Chucky bashes him in the noggin.
Oh yeah.
Can't do it. I think Luke, you could do a good baseball bat.
I don't know.
I thought you could. I thought you had it in you. Like
I'll send you the list.
Box.
I'll send you the list.
The man of noises.
The noises I can do. Remember what noise was it you were impressed by before? The punch.
Oh, that was amazing though. Yeah.
I remember it.
I don't know. I think maybe there's something in the air that night that made it sound like a cowboy being shot off a roof.
Little man with the little man in the box. Just
I can't remember.
Little man on the phone.
Oh. Forgot about that.
Yeah, but not a baseball bat sound. But
Smash
Chucky,
this little kid right in the crust.
Yeah, he whacks him in the back of the head, bashes his head in with his Louisville slugger.
And he's halfway through doing the incantation in order to get himself into body.
He's like, "Hey, Dumbala, give me the powers. I beg of you, give me this kid's body. Abracadabra, give me this kid's body."
But they turn up just in time and stop it from happening. But Chucky ain't going down with that fight. He's really angry at this point.
I like he's like an angry terrier. Terrier vibes. They like there's a bit she puts him in the fireplace. And it's like they've got like a little net thing.
And he's rattling around in the fire.
Yeah.
Like,
and he does a final like, "Andy, we're supposed to be friends till the end." And Andy says, "This is the end, bitch." Well, he doesn't say bitch, but
it's not Freddy Krueger. "This is the end, friend.
Yeah.
See you later." Burns him up. I think a lot of films would have ended here, and that would have been enough.
By the way, I love burnt Chucky, like, and I've got the picture of him here behind me. But like when his eyeballs kind of like glooping out and he's like dripping in, there's like the plastic
horrible
leathery
teeth.
bits on his mouth. Like he's such a freaky looking creature.
Even burned, Chucky has better teeth than that peddler.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit like a fake out ending. Everything's going to be all right. They go and help Mike because he got stabbed in the leg, but then suddenly horrible charred Chucky appears, and he's like invincible at this point. He's in his final form.
There's a second fake out ending, so he gets shot to pieces, and then the other detective with the mustache arrives, and then the other detective's like, "Don't touch any part of him," and he starts like playing like juggling with his head, and as he's doing that, for some reason the body is now in the vent. And he's trying to strangle him with one baby hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's being strangled. And after the guy was like really, there's like, yeah, right, Chucky, is it? That alive doll got you, right? Then he's being strangled, and then Karen realizes you got to shoot him in the heart, and that's exactly what they do.
You know what? Like after they killed him, they were like, no one's gonna believe us, and I'd be like, well, okay, we'll just keep the strangling hand alive, and then just like have to invite people around, be strangled for like 2 seconds, then you'll know. And then
dolls,
especially like bearing in mind he's quite light anyway. If he's just a hand at this point, they'd be like, and
then they'd be like, okay, I believe you. And then
my Tommy gun, don't.
I love it. It'd actually be like the entire everyone who's not the case. So the doctors, we reckon that Andy's, but no, here's the strangle hand. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I believe you. Then like the judge comes and all the members of the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today I present to you the real culprit here, the Chucky hand. And it gets passed around the jury group. He gets to strangle each of them for a second.
Oh yeah. Pass it next.
Yeah, next.
Okay. And that's I think that's just how it ends as credits. I don't think we get any post credits.
No,
unfortunately, but the pre-credits scene was pretty good. It's like 2 hours long. I really enjoyed it. So I've got some name game for you.
Yeah, ready.
Not got many because it was actually quite difficult, this one. So the first one will go quite easy. It's a film about one man who must find the bathroom, and to get there he has to follow a path made entirely of bathroom tiles.
Tiles Way.
Tiles Way.
The Tiles Way.
Wow.
This one is about co-presenter of the TV show The One Show. Goes on a murderous rampage, chasing down, stalking, and killing former guests of the show.
Is it Adrian Child's play?
Child's, well, he acts like a predator, you could say.
Child's Prey.
Slay.
Child's Prey.
That's a good one.
I'd watch that.
And I've got one here. A former talk show host, another talk show host, gets the DNA results in. The DNA results are in. Is he or is he not the biological father of his own hair? And one catchphrase that this character repeats throughout the film is, put something on the end of it, but he's not talking about penises.
Kyle's.
Yeah.
Kyle's Lay? Kyle's.
So the DNA results are going to tell people if he is or if he is not the biological father of his own hair. And he goes around telling people, put something on the end of it.
Put something on the end of it. Talking about the knob, but it's not. So
No, he's not talking about the knob.
The hair.
Talking about the hair. Kyle's
hairnet.
Close. That's really close. That's really close.
Kyle's
rhymes with play. Funnily enough.
Well, yeah, I was getting that.
Kyle's.
To be fair, there's an extra.
Child's to pay.
Child's to pay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Kyle's to pay.
Kyle's to pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I many years ago now, Karen was a contestant on Countdown, which they filmed in the same.
Kyle.
No, they film it in the same studio, like building, as they filmed Jeremy Kyle. And obviously both of them have audiences in Manchester. Not one to get into profiling, guys, but you don't need a sign to realise from the crowds which queue is for the Countdown audience and which quew is for the Jeremy Kyle audience. It's quite clear.
Yeah, I used to work around the corner. Poo on their teeth. Trying to sell you little toys. I used to work around the corner from the Jeremy Kyle place, and
they went.
Always tell.
And they went, hang on a minute, you're supposed to be in here. Get off your lunch break. Got dragged in, but you're here. Right, you are the father. And you went, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not even on Jeremy Kyle.
Put something on the end of it.
I saw Jeremy Kyle on TV not long ago talking about how he'd been silenced on television.
Oh yeah, that always seems to happen, doesn't it? People who are cancelled, they're always like, here's my column in a daily newspaper about how I've been cancelled, silenced. Yeah. Everyone hates the truth these days, don't they? Read my new book.
I watched that, but
cancelled, been shit and irresponsible at my job.
I watched that on mute. Mute that.
Mute that.
I just saw his spiteful little face go.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the clip? Have you ever seen the clip of someone slinging an envelope at Jeremy Kyle's head?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. The DNA results are in my head.
It is perfect television. There are a few.
I need to look that up.
Television.
Yeah, it's good.
Someone slings an envelope which rebounds off the back of his head and like perfectly messes his hair up. It's almost as good as that guy who was like interviewing someone in a swimming pool and didn't realize it was deeper than it was and stood into it and just went under. World class, mate. World class.
That's it. That's it for Nick. I only had 3. So unless you guys have got one, let's.
You got one off the top of the dome, Ben? Put you on the spot.
No. Oh, I can't get one off the top of the dome.
I'll be honest. This one was quite difficult.
No. I mean, I'm nearly there, but no. All right. How about famous American trumpeter decides to
Miles.
decides to quit playing the trumpet, and instead he's making pottery, gets into pottery.
Miles Clay.
Miles Clay, yeah.
Miles Clay.
That's at the top of the day.
Okay, I've got one off the top. So, in a terrible twist, a killer, he gets shot in a shootout. Unfortunately, they had to do a twist in the bullet. While he was straining, having been shot, he does something to his intestinal tract. It's exposed from his bum, and he goes to the doctor and says, "Oh, geez, I expect your innards to be a different color, but they're kind of like a really dull color."
Piles Gray?
Piles Gray, correct.
Attorney at law. Sounds like a name.
Piles Gray.
Piles Gray, attorney at law, can't sit down.
Yeah. I started from the bottom and worked my way to the top.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Started from the bottom and I'm still here.
I'm still bloody here, mate. It's fine. You really put some cream on that.
Some Piles Gray cream.
Okay, so we need to rate the film. What are you guys going to go for?
Interesting. Would it be a basic bitch if I said B-? I mean,
It'd be a basic, cool
a B- boy.
Like it brought back a lot of memories of this film. Again, it's been a long time since I've seen it, and I think it has become like a proper iconic like horror movie. So it's really like something really tongue in cheek about it. I would like to go and watch some of the other movies, and remake was all right as well. So I think probably a B-. Yeah, let's just go for that. Sure.
Yeah, a B- from Ben. Very nice.
I'm gonna go. I liked it more than I thought we were gonna like it, and I'm gonna go B+.
I liked it. Brought back some memories. I like it how in the beginning I'd forgotten about all of the voodoo stuff and the voodoo doll that comes into it and the other bits later on. So at the beginning, I thought it actually comes across as like quite a nice, simple, fun premise. And then it actually comes up with some additional depths later as we get into the additional voodoo stuff as well. So
I like the voodoo stuff as well.
Yeah. So there's some fun stuff to be had here. Like you guys, I think I might go and watch a few more of these now. And maybe if you never find out what network it's on here, we can might even check out some of the series. But yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle of you two and say a regular old B.
Ooh.
Straight up B, is it? Very nice. Very nice.
Cool. So thanks for listening. Next week, is it The Faculty? Or no, is it Resident Evil?
Resident Evil. Is this our last cinema faring trip for a movie this year?
Yeah, looks like it. It's bloody December. Can you believe it, lad?
Yeah.
I'll be watching Jack Frost. Are we talking about that and what we're watching pretty soon, guys? December tomorrow.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. You can become a patron for early access to episodes, sometimes bonus content,
occasionally,
and heaps of free stuff over at patreon.com/horror hangout. Thanks to our current patrons, John Crinnan, Ben Scaife, Stephen Christopher, Toby Miller, Laura Kendrick, Scott Rigby, and Bazuzu. Thanks to Kovac Cameron for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks for listeners. Join the Facebook group Horror Hangout Board of Advisors. Yeah, thanks to my co-hosts Ben and Andy for being right horror dudes.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Andy. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always.
See you in Raccoon City, everyone.
See you in Raccoon City.
City of Justice, City of Peace.
Bring your green herbs.
Bye.
Oh, yeah. Bye.